In 3 months? Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Alexis Briana, and I am so glad that you're here. I am a bit late. I'm a lot a bit late on just all of my reading wrap-ups. I know that I need to catch up, so I am going to combine my August, September, and October reading wrap-ups into one fall reading wrap-up. Between work, life, birthdays, all of the things in between, I just fell behind on my reading wrap-up. So I was like, you know what? Let me just not do them. That didn't make sense, but let me do it, but just let me combine them all. Cause I was like, maybe I should skip it, but I was like, no, let me not skip it. I am though really excited to see where I am on my bingo card. And I am gonna reference it here at the end. I think I'm gonna fill it in with the different books that I have completed and add them to the bingo card just to see if I hit bingo. I technically think that I have this month and then next month to finish my fall bingo card, because fall doesn't end, I think, until December 21st, like officially. December does not give me fall vibes, so I think I'm going to do my fall bingo card August through probably November. I don't know, maybe I hit it in October. We'll find out together. So far though, I have read 23 books, essays, short stories, novellas across the last 3 months, and some I love, some I DNF'd or soft DNF'd, and some I hard DNF'd. And then, I don't know, there's some interesting things that we'll get into a little bit later. I'm not going to do them in the order that I read them or like started them. I think I'm going to do them by the month that I finished them. And if I didn't finish a book, I think I'm going to do it by the month that it was on that TBR. Otherwise, I think I would get confused and I think that's going to be the easiest thing for my brain. So grab something to drink, grab something to eat, get comfortable. Get real comfortable, and let's talk about all of the books that I finished in August, September, and October. Oh, and then we'll also go over the books that I didn't finish as well. Okay, let's start with my August reads first. This was a month that I did get a lot of reading in, but it was a very diverse reading month. I mean, everything from romance, spicy romance, to Wattpad romances, parenting books, fantasy. What other genres I have? I don't know. It was just a wide range of genres. So first up, we have Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. And oh my gosh, this book was hilarious. I read this book both physically and I also listened to the audiobook. I definitely recommend the audiobook if you have it, or if you can find it on Libby or Cloud Library. It's definitely a good listen. And straight out the gate, there was spice. There was spice, like no chaser, just like immediate heat. And I would say, even though the spice was there in the first couple of pages, it wasn't like throughout the entire book, like from the beginning to the end. Like there was the immediate spice and then it cooled down. And then I'm trying to remember like where it came back into the chat. Like I don't remember where spice came back, but it wasn't like the whole book was full of spice, but it definitely hit in the beginning and then it came back in. I think what really makes this book work is the banter between the main female character and the main male character. Like their conversations were just so witty and fun, the back and forth, the friendship. I really enjoyed that. Now, I will say the family in this book worked my everlasting nerve. Like they just kept going on and on and on about this very specific thing that was not their business. And look, I get that this might be an accurate depiction about what some people experience with their families, but goodness gracious, they were just a lot. They were a lot. But you know what? I think frustrating characters like that really make you invested in the story. And even though there were times where I just wanted to skip past those moments, like I stayed in it because I was really invested in the story. I was invested in just rooting for the main female character and wanting her to stand up for herself. And I will also say that to me, the slow burn in this book, I don't think it was as necessary for it to be so long of a slow burn, but I do think that it was still a fun, funny read. It was nothing too deep. It was very enjoyable. It's a contemporary romance with some steam. And banter. So I would definitely recommend this if you want something light and spicy. I know it says Curvy Girl Summer, and so it is more of a summer read, but I do think that this is something that you could read if you're not one that is bothered by reading summer books in the winter. I do think that this would be a light, funny palate cleanser if that's something that you're interested in, or you could just save it until the summer. Next, we have Church Girl by name of Simone, and I enjoyed this one. I read this via physical book and ebook. I can't remember if I read audio or not. I don't think I did. I'm not 100% sure, but this book was also another funny, I think this would be a contemporary romance. Just the conversations were very funny, the comebacks, just the banter. Just, it was a good time. I will say, though, that the ending in general felt rushed. I think it's kind of a two-part thing. I feel like the third act breakup felt like a fourth act breakup. Like, it happened really late in the book. So that really didn't give us enough time to have a lot of a happy ending. Like, it was really, really short. And I don't know. I am a person that I don't need the epilogue to go on forever and ever, but help me out. Like, give me a little time to enjoy them being back together after all that they went through and all of the things. Like, yeah, that was definitely one of the things that I wouldn't say I enjoyed about the book. And I will also say that one of the big climaxes, like the resolution didn't really feel natural. Like, it felt, again, rushed. I think that because there was a specific angle in this book where it consumed a lot of the plot, I think there was more space to really get into that. I feel like we barely scratched the surface just to kind of like rush it in the book. And yeah, that wasn't necessarily something that I enjoyed about the book. But again, it was still a good read. And I will say there was a bit of an age gap between the main female character and the main male character. It wasn't creepy or anything like that, but I did want to mention it because I know some people don't like age gap romances. Overall, again, I think that this was a solid romance. I do think that there was really good character development, nice tension, but I just wish that we had a little bit more time in the resolutions and dug deeper into some of the themes that I felt like we were going to get into this book. I feel like we could have gone a little deeper into the book, but overall still enjoyed it. I would recommend this book. I forgot to mention spice. There is spice in this book. Again, I don't remember when it came in. I think it came in probably around 50-ish, 60-ish percent, maybe. I could be wrong. I did not mark when the spice came in, but there is definitely spice. Oh, and in terms of language, I would say this about both Curvy Girl Summer and this book as well. If you're not a person that likes strong language, don't pick this up. There's definitely colorful language in the book, but I think that it was funny. It's definitely plausible to how people talk, but definitely wanted to mention that as well. Next is my parenting book for August, and that is Raising Good Humans by Hunter Clarke-Fields. It's a parenting book that really talks about breaking the cycle of reactive parenting and raising kind and confident kids. And I think that there was a really good information in this book, but I ended up soft DNFing it because my husband actually picked up No Drama Discipline by Dr. Daniel Siegel and Dr. Tina Payne. And I just felt like this, I don't know, when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this is hitting me, I think, a little deeper than Raising Good Humans was. So I said, you know what, I'm going to just put this one to the side for now and dig into No Drama Discipline. And I really enjoyed it. I've been reading this book on and off since August. It's one of those really challengingly good reads. Like, it really forces you to ask hard questions of yourself and challenges you to think differently about discipline. It's very practical. It has really good examples in it. And I think it even just makes you question or ask yourself questions, even if you already think differently about discipline from what society deems as discipline. It still makes you question certain things or why you think about certain things. And I think it's just been a really good resource, and I'm just continuing to dig into it and read it because, again, it's one of those books. It's one of those really hard, challenging books, but it's a very good book. So I've been enjoying it, and I think eventually I will get back to Raising Good Humans. But for now, I think that this and another book that I think I forgot to actually add to this stack have been my main parenting books of focus just in the last couple of months. Okay, I did want to grab the parenting book that I've also been referencing. This technically would fall under like the October list, but since I just mentioned it, I did want to just go ahead and talk about it. This is another pickup from my husband, and it is Ages and Stages, A Parent's Guide to Normal Childhood Development, Tips and Techniques for Building Your Child's Social, Emotional, Interpersonal, and Cognitive Skills. It's written by Dr. Charles E. Schaefer and Teresa Foy DiGeronimo. Deuteronomy, I think that's how you say that. It says, promote your child's development from birth to age 10, help your child develop friendships, support child's personal growth, foster your child's emotional health, encourage your child's cognitive development. And I would say like this is, again, it's not a long book, but it's more of a reference book for like the specific age and specific things. And it's been a really good reference in terms of just understanding like what is happening with our daughter in terms of her development, socially, cognitively, and things like that. And it's been a really good pair with No Drama Discipline and just some of the things that they talk about in there. So I've really been enjoying it. But it's like, it's not a book that it's like a goal for me to finish in the month, similar to No Drama Discipline. Like the goal isn't to finish it in the month, but it is like more of a reference to keep referencing and coming back to. So definitely have been enjoying this, but it packs a punch. It packs a punch. Yes. It challenges you in a lot of different ways. Next up, we have Mrs. Wiggins by Mary Monroe. And this was, I won't say forced, but I definitely invited myself to a buddy read with a friend. At this point, she hadn't read a fiction book in like 9 or 10 years. And I thought that this would be a great book for us to read together just because I'm not big into historical fiction. She hadn't read a book in a long time, and we both ended up not finishing it. I think mine is more of a soft DNF. I think hers is more of a hard DNF. I think I made it like 35-ish% into the book. And I will say, for the portion that I listened to on audiobook, because I primarily listened to it on audiobook, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was funny. I love the narrator's voice. For me, I felt a trigger coming. Like, I was like, okay, where is this going? I feel like a trigger was coming. And because I went into it primarily blind, because again, it was a self-invited buddy read with a friend. Like, I didn't do a lot of digging into what it was going to be about. I just knew that it was the period of time was like pre and then during the Depression era within the United States. And it was, in the South. Like, I knew all of that, but I didn't do digging into like, what is the synopsis? What is the summary about it? Yeah. And so, I was just like, I think I'm not going to finish this one right now. And after digging into I would say like the summary of the book and like learning where it was going, I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't finish it. I'm glad I didn't finish it because I think that it really would have triggered me. And I was like, it probably could have led to a reading slump or just, I don't know, just weird, icky feeling specifically for me. But I definitely recommend it if you are a person that likes historical fiction, you like funny historical fictions, and just a whole lot of drama. I definitely recommend the book. I would check though. It's one of those books, I don't know if I would go into it blind just because of where certain things go. I'd just say if you have specific triggers and you have triggers, then definitely read the synopsis before reading that book. Okay, so for this last August read, I really need you to hear me out, okay? Like, stick with me for this next one. Just give me some time to explain. It is Captivated by Him, the Billionaire and the Bully by Tara Ellis. And this is a urban romance. I would also say that it's probably more of a dark urban romance with like a grumpy sunshine bully trope situation happening in there. And I read this ebook so fast. I got it via Kindle Unlimited. And I will say, if you do not like spice, you don't like shoot 'em up, pow, pow, you go ahead and skip this book. You can also skip this review. But here's what had me intrigued. The plot. This is one of the most unique urban romance specifically plots that I have seen in a good long while. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's just not your typical billionaire urban romance story. Now, I will say that part of the trope is pretty typical. Like, rich guy meets girl, down on her luck, he tries to save her. But everything else surrounding the setup and the plot, it was not your average. It was not your average. Now, with all of that being said, because of how it was written, I could see the plot twist and the twist in the story coming from a good mile away. There were just some lines and plot holes that could have probably thrown some people off, but I would say like just based on how it was written, I really think that this book could go through a really good like edit and adjust a couple of things where it creates more of a mystery. And then, oh my goodness, this book would draw you in even more. Like, it was already good with those plot holes or with some of those, I don't know, just some of the things that were just missing where like the mystery aspect that was hugely a part of the plot and the storyline for me, Like it was just it was like, okay, let me just confirm, but it was still good. It was still a good time, I think, because it departed so much from, again, like your typical romance. Like it was just enjoyable. Now there is spice. It's not heavy, especially for an urban romance. It doesn't like smack you in the face on the first page. It definitely builds. I can't remember how far it was in the book when it started, but I would say like when the spice does come, it is there. I think it maybe evens like 60%-ish, 50% in. I don't know. It's not there immediately. It builds to it. But if you are into urban romance, or you are someone who wants to like just dip your toe into urban romance, I definitely think that this is something that you should check out, especially if you want something that just departs from your typical urban romance type of story. So definitely recommend that if that is your vibe. Last but not least, I read 2 Wattpad books in August, and I'm trying to remember what the titles were. I don't know for sure because I don't think I saved them, but Wattpad is such a mixed bag, and my husband actually introduced me to Wattpad a couple of years ago, and you really just have to be in the mood when you're reading Wattpad books on there, just because some books are really rough and some books are hidden gems, and I think that Wattpad definitely gets a lot of shade thrown its way because there is a lot of fan fiction on Wattpad, but I think it's a fun way to discover like really undiscovered artists or just underground artists, and it's really cool seeing some of the Wattpad authors transition into indie authors, and then sometimes even transition into traditionally published authors. Like I really, really enjoy that aspect of it, but I read those 2 books, and I believe that they were romance, mystery, thriller type things. I'm pretty sure those what they were. I don't know. There are those books that you just read as palate cleansers and you enjoy them and then you just forget them after you read them. But yes, moving on to September. This was a shorter reading month for me because work was crazy. So we are going to start with Eye of the Worlds by Robert Jordan. This is the first book in the Wheel of Time series. And I'm not going to go super deep into this because I filmed an entire vlog series around this and also a full recap of my thoughts and just full recap of what happened in this book. So I will link that playlist down below. But the short version of it is I love this book. Absolutely love this book. I came into the series after watching season 1 of the Amazon show, and the book just gave so much more depth and context, and the world building was incredible. The character development was just so well done, and by the end of this book, I was even more invested into this world than I already was. So I highly recommend that you read this book immersively. I feel like pairing the physical or the ebook with the audiobook is a game changer. I will say that the original audiobook narrators weren't for me personally, but the Rosamund Pike version, phenomenal. She kept me engaged, I mean, throughout the entire 700 plus page book. And I will say, if you are on the fence because this is an epic fantasy series with 14 books plus a prequel, yes, it's a commitment. It is a commitment. But what I will say is through this first book, there are some slow moments. The audiobook helps with that. But if you can get through that, it is definitely worth it. It is so good. Oh my gosh. It's a really good book. I am currently on book 2, The Great Hunt, and I'm loving that. I do have a reading vlog series that I am doing with that. It's a part of my October/November. What is it called? I think Reading TBR. I don't know why I put it down here. But I am currently on it and loving it. I will also link the videos that are related down below for this book. But yes, this whole series, I am only on book 2. It is very good. So if you are a fantasy type of person, if you're interested in getting into your first epic series, I definitely recommend this book. Again, though, definitely get the audiobook and see if you could maybe get the audiobook, I would say, in your library and just see if you can like test it out to see if you're interested in the original narrators, because I don't know, you may be different from me and actually enjoy their narration, but I would just see if you could listen to a sample of both before you make the commitment to buying one of the audiobooks just to see where you go. Oh, also, last thing. Last thing, I know that Rosamund Pike, she only recorded, I think, 4 or 5 of the books. So she did not record, unfortunately, all of them. I'm hoping that they come to some type of agreement and she can finish out the series. Otherwise, man, I'm going to have to go back to the original narrators. But for now, I'm going to stick with her version of the books, at least through the 4 or 5 that she's recorded so far. But definitely recommend this series. Next up, we have Quicksilver by Callie Hart. And okay, this is another one you're going to have to hear me out on, okay? Because here's the thing. It was bad. It was not good. But let me explain why it wasn't for me before you throw tomatoes, because I know reading is subjective. I did not like this book. I think what aided to me not liking this book was because I also was reading really good fantasies and Dragon Fruit and The Eye of the World. So I did finish it. It just was really hard to finish. And I think that it had all of the good aspects to be a good romantasy, from the world to the premise to the just all of the things. It fell short in a lot of areas. So first up, we have world building. I really liked the world that she was building, but I think that it was missing a lot of context and explanation around how certain things worked within the world. Instead of just assuming we would know. And then I think in terms of dialogue, I think that there were just a lot of pieces missing. I think there were really good moments, but I think there were also moments where it just wasn't natural. It didn't flow. And then the romance, the enemies, the lovers part just came out of nowhere. I mean, the banter was kind of there, but it just went from 0 to 20 to 100. There wasn't enough tension or angst building or even just, I don't know, connection to make it believable. And I think if maybe we got more than one POV, we got the main male character's POV, it might have worked better. And I mean, there was spice, but again, the lovers part came out of nowhere. So for me, the spice was just yeah. So I will say though, the side characters carried the book. They were so funny and engaging, and I would have loved to know more about them. I just love a good found family trope. So that was the bright side. But then we had the villain, the build up to the villain. It needed work. Another bright spot, though, I will say is, this is kind of bad, but picturing Kingfisher, which is a terrible name for a main male character. But anyways, picturing him as the man, which I think his name is Henry, who played the Witcher, the original Witcher, not the new Witcher. It really helped. So I love that Taryn, I think, and Tiffany, which is where I got the recommendation from their video, and then Book Talk, picturing him as a main male character helped tremendously. Helped a lot. So yeah, I would say if you are a romantasy fan, you might enjoy it. Again, there were some really good moments and really bad moments. Again, I think the reason why it felt so bad was because I was in the middle of and had just finished some really good fantasies. So if you're going to go into this, I would just say manage your expectations. Manage your expectations, because that main female character will work your nerves. And that's the last thing I'll say. I don't want to harp on the book, but yeah. Okay, so anyways, my last read for October was Dragon Fruit by Makia Lucier, and I'm not going to go super deep into this book because I filmed a whole TBR takedown vlog for it, which I will definitely link that down below. But the short version of my thoughts are, I really enjoyed this. It is a YA fantasy inspired by Pacific Islander myths. It's also written by someone from the Pacific Islands. I'm pretty sure she's from the nation of Guam, if I'm not mistaken. And it features a girl who is really uncovering family secrets, coming into her own, and it just has dragons, magic, and quests and all of those things. The world building is beautiful. The representation is just it's heartwarming, honestly. And this story really just keeps you engaged. It's super fast paced. I read the physical book of this and I also listened to the audiobook version of it. And I definitely recommend audio if you can, just because just the representation and just how she read it. It was just definitely really beautiful. And I will say in general, if you like YA fantasy and you want something that has a unique cultural, I would say just representation and mythology, I definitely would recommend that you check this book out. Okay, so moving on to my October reads, and I will say, before I get into these reads, October was way busier than I thought in terms of just work and all of the things like that. So I will say my reading and my plans around reading definitely reflected that, because I did not get to as many books as I thought I would. So starting with Jewel Me Twice by Cherish Reed. This was a book that I started in September, but it was on my October TBR. I ended up restarting it in October, but I ended up having to soft DNF it. And this was probably one of my most disappointing books in terms of like not finishing it or just not getting into it. And I was really surprised by it because I loved the premise of this book. It is a contemporary romance and it follows jewel thieves who go on this big heist, and they are essentially just honoring their recently deceased mentor's wishes. And this was actually a recommendation from one of the employees at Blush Bookstore, and the premise just sounded so much fun, but I just couldn't get into it. And I'm not sure if it was the pacing or the characters or maybe my mood or what I was reading. I don't know. I got 15% into it and I just realized that I just need to sit it down while I was in the mood to sit it down. And I didn't want it to become a hard DNF. So I was like, I just need to soft DNF this book. But yeah, I'll come back to this one. I will definitely come back to it. The next two books I actually read together in a reading vlog, so I'm not going to get too deep into my thoughts about them. I will go ahead and link that video down below. But first up, we have Aphrodite the Duke by J.J. McAvoy, and this is a diverse Regency romance. And I would say, like, essentially it's two books in one. Like, the first half is like a traditional Regency romance with a little extra history. And then the second part of the book is romance with like a dash of thriller. Overall, I did enjoy the book. I love the Dubell family and the banter between them, and just the side characters were great. The plot was definitely there, but I just feel like overall, there was not enough grovelations. I feel like there was more in the book. Like, I just feel like certain things could have been fleshed out. And I think that just based on the plot and the storyline, there was enough meat there to make them two full books. And for those who want to know like about spice and things like that, there was spice. It came in the second half of the book. But it wasn't super heavy. It was not like a ton of spice. So if you're someone who likes a light, not too deep Regency romance that is diverse with, again, a hint of spice, I definitely would recommend it. And the last book that I have for October is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. And this is a YA fantasy, and it is based off of West African mythology, if I'm not mistaken. And the main mythical creature of focus are mermaids. It is, in terms of the history, it is set during the Atlantic slave trade, and there are mentions of violence and things like that. In terms of pacing, it is very fast paced, similar to Dragonfruit, because it is a YA fantasy. I think that's why it was so fast paced in certain areas. It's just one of those books I wish was longer, but I totally get it because of the audience. I really love the mythology around the book. And I did really appreciate that she had trigger warnings. I don't think that Dragonfruit had trigger warnings, but I would check the trigger warnings for Dragonfruit as well, because both of these books do have violence in them. And this one specifically has mentions of slavery. But if that is something that does not trigger you, and if you read the trigger warnings and you're like, okay, those aren't things that would trigger me, I definitely recommend this book. It is the first book I forgot to mention in a duology. The second book is Soul of the Deep. So I do eventually plan on picking that up. I don't know when I'm going to pick it up, but I think because of how this ended, I'm not like in a rush to pick up the second book, but definitely enjoyed this one. Last but definitely not least, I did want to cover the books that I didn't get to in the month of October, and that would be I Surrender All by Priscilla Schreier, and then James by Percival Everett. I know. James is that book that just keeps escaping me, but both of these books are just going to roll over to future TBRs. And I also was supposed to kickstart my Hunger Games series reading with The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and I just ran out of time to get to it. Anyways, this one is going to roll over to my November TBR. And in terms of the other 13 books that I read, they were a mix of, I would say, like personal books, short stories, essays, and novellas. And I'm kind of like on the fence about sharing the stat on these books just because they are personal and I don't plan on sharing these details of the books. I don't know. I think after watching so many booktubers and creators, they've really taught me that sometimes you have to keep like certain things for yourself. And these are like I would say like deeply personal things that I do want to keep to myself. So I won't be sharing them, but I do also want to share the numbers so that you can see like what is realistic reading for me, like in terms of busy months and not busy months. I don't know. I have to think about this one, but for now, I'll definitely still keep sharing the number of personal books and essays and novellas and things like that I read without going into the details, just so you can like kind of see what's realistic. Because I think sometimes people will share like numbers and it's like, okay, well, what was the mix of that? And like, was it a busy month? Was it not a busy month? I don't know. I got to figure that one out. So we'll figure that out. All right, I have my iPad here because I want to look at the stats for the last 3 months and then also update my bingo card. So first up, I have in August, I finished 5 books and then I soft DNF 2. September, I did not soft DNF any books, but I did finish 3. In October, I finished 2 books. I soft DNF 1 and then I did not get to 3 books. And then I read in total 13 personal books and essays outside of those. And it leaves us with a total of 23 books, essays, short stories, and novellas. So I'm going to try to keep this up and then get my, I'm going to try to get the bingo card and then we will update this. And I'm probably just going to go through and see if anything fits this. I think I'm going to save the free space for last. Okay, so fall romance. I have not read a fall romance yet. Try a graphic novel or manga. Have not. Blind Date with Duck. I haven't done that. Read from Stack of Shame. I haven't done that. Book with a gorgeous cover. I do have a book with a gorgeous cover. I have a few that could fall under that. Either this, I absolutely love this, the cover of this. I also love Skin of the Sea. Such a beautiful cover. So I don't know. I'm not sure about this. I will see. That's a potential for one, depending on where. Okay, read the same book as someone else. Attempted that, didn't finish. Okay, book over 400 pages. Oh, that would be Eye of the World. I think that one may be the only one I could put on that one. So I think I'm gonna do book over 400 pages for Eye of the World. Genre I usually avoid. Attempted that. Did not successfully do that one. Okay, so reread an old favorite. I haven't attempted that. Read at a coffee shop. I have read at a coffee shop, but which book was it? I'm gonna have to look up what book. I can't remember the book for that one. Okay, read outside. Oh, I read Skin of the Sea outside. I'm definitely gonna have to put that one for that one because I do not read outside often at all. So I think this was the only book that I've read outside. So that one for sure will be Skin of the Sea. Try a new to you author. Oh, that was kind of easy because I've tried a lot of new to me authors. I think I'm in between. You know what I could do for that one because I haven't tried her. I'm gonna do JJ McAvoy, Aphrodite and the Duke. I'm gonna do Aphrodite and the Duke for that one. Free space, we'll come back to it. Read a book talk recommendation. Oh, that will be oh my gosh. The popular book talk book I did not like. The one by Callie Hart. Quicksilver. I'll do that one. Quicksilver with Callie Hart for that one. Read a book by a Black woman author. I think I'll do Curvy Girl Summer for that one with Danielle Allen. And then that way I will do a book with a gorgeous cover. I'll do that for Church Girl because I really love this cover. Like, I love the stained glass in this cover. Okay. Let's see. Read a book that you've owned for over a year. Oh, I had that on my TBR. Did not finish that one. Memoir biography. I started one. That was one I didn't mention. I started one and just did not finish it. Listen to an audiobook while walking. I don't think I've done that. I don't think. Read a book under 250 pages. I feel like is this one, is Dragon Fruit under? No, that's this one. Dragon Fruit is over 250. Okay. Community recommendation. I don't think have I read one that was a community? I don't think I've read one that's a community recommendation. I am in November though. I am in November. Book with food on the cover. I don't think any of them have food on the cover. Buddy read. Tried that. Did work out. Try a thriller. Oh, there is a thriller on my November TBR. So I do think that I will be able to do that one soon. Read at a library or a bookstore. I feel like No, I haven't. I was like, did I read it at a bookstore? No. And then finish a series you started. I have not done that. So in order for all of these books to count, I am going to do Dragon Fruit on my free space. And I think that would mean bingo right here. I have bingo. Oh my gosh. Okay. I wonder if I'll be able to get another bingo. I feel like I could get another bingo, maybe. I feel like that's pushing it, but I am really excited and honestly cannot believe that I actually got bingo because, yeah, wow. That's kind of shocking, but that is exciting. And that is my fall reading wrap up. I am so relieved that I hit bingo. I was not sure how that was going to work out just because the last 3 months have been a wild ride. Like, I think doing a challenge during a busy work schedule and also doing a challenge this 3 to 4 months, I don't need to do either of those again. I think I need to do shorter challenges the next time. And also, I would say specifically like this last month, specifically October. I don't think it was in August and kind of sort of September, but I have just been searching and soft DNFing so many books. Like, I only covered the books that I soft DNF that were on my TBR, but like my actual list of soft DNF are probably like 10, 15 books more than what I listed. Like, oh, it has been a time. It has been a time just trying to find a book and just get into books. And I don't know. I think it's just because when you read so many good books back to back, it's really hard sometimes to like, I don't know. I'm in a very weird space in terms of reading, but I'm hoping that the books that I selected on my November TBR get me out of this weird just reading funk. Cause I won't say it's like a slump, but it's just like this weird vibe that's happening. But anyways, let me know down below, what did you read this fall? Did you have any favorites? Did you read any of the books that I read? I'd love to know what you thought about them as well. And just a big thank you. Because if you've made it to this point of the video, welcome to the end of the video, crew. I'm going to try again not to do this and just stick all of these reading wrap-ups in one because this was long. This was long, but be sure to drop a leaf icon in the comment section. I always love to know who's hung out with me until the end of the video. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a new video from me. Until the next time, happy reading. Bye, y'all.